Part one, bourgeois and proletarians. Already we need, I think, some background thinking about the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. The bourgeois or the bourgeoisie are a class, social and economic class, and especially an economic class, and so are the proletarians. The bourgeois are the people who have money. They're not aristocrats. They're not people of the old landed aristocratic class who had their money from their control of large areas of land. They're a new sort of people in the world, or at least if they're not a new sort of people, they're a newly ascendant sort of people, and they're the people of the cities. The basic word there, bourgeois, is related to the word burgher, which just means person of the town or city. They are the professionals who live in cities, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, I guess, but especially they are the factory owners. They're the people who have capital. They're the people who have wealth, and they're the people who use that wealth to make more wealth. And you make more wealth by employing labor. And the classic bourgeois is the factory owner, and the classic proletariat is the factory worker, the wage earner, the person who sells their labor in order to live, that is, to earn wages. And Marx sees these two economic classes as fighting it out in modern society. And so he begins the section by saying the history of all hitherto existing societies is the history of class struggles, which is an amazing thing to say, saying that human history is essentially class struggle. That is, what moves history along is the war between different economic classes, the struggle for control. And modern society is the struggle between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. But former societies also were determined in their history by class struggle, the struggle between different economic classes. It's just that they were different classes. So he says freeman and slave in a slave society, patrician and plebeian in classical society, lord and serf in medieval society, guild master and journeyman, also medieval society. In a word, oppressor and oppressed. And that's important, right? The bourgeoisie is the oppressor in modern capitalist society. The proletariat is the oppressed. But this is nothing new. There have always been oppressors and oppressed. Stood in constant opposition to one another, carried on an uninterrupted, now hidden, now open fight, a fight that each time ended either in a revolutionary reconstitution of society at large or in the common ruin of the contending classes. So a revolutionary reconstitution of society at large is a very wide idea, but fundamentally it means a revolution in who's in control of the society, which class will be the dominant class. Modern societies are a result of a revolution, and that revolution is the victory of the bourgeoisie. It's the bourgeois, the new money, the money that's been made in fortunes from the Industrial Revolution that rules society. It's no longer the landed aristocracy. So revolutions are nothing new. It's just that Marx believes that the next revolution will be the last one, the revolution where the proletariat takes over and basically destroys capitalism. So that's the beginning of the work, and I think that that's maybe important to say right away that this is fundamentally a political pamphlet that is describing history, but also describing the present state of society. And it's 1848, and these are two Germans writing in Europe in 1848. But so their present state of society in light of history, and seeing their society is basically divided up between what they call two great warring dominant classes, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. They really think it's inevitable that this clash will end in a certain way, and that is the dominance of the proletariat class and the institution of communism.